Hello and thanks for joining us for this KEYC News Now to Go update. I'm Jackson Jurek, and in a few minutes I'll be joined by First Alert meteorologist Caitlin Lohr with a lot to talk about in today's forecast and beyond. We'll start with some local news. MnDOT is preparing for the upcoming winter weather event, which they expect to be more dangerous than a typical snowstorm. MnDOT says that Wednesday's winter storm will be particularly difficult, as today's rain would wash away any salt or treatment that they would originally put down on the roads. The first rain, then the snow, and the high winds are expected to make things especially difficult. And MnDOT is planning on having plows out starting late tonight. MnDOT also won't count out the possibility of pulling plow drivers from the roads if things get too dangerous before the sun rises on Wednesday.
We'll have our trucks and our plow staff out putting down chemicals on the road to try to make sure that we don't have icing going on and try to take care of it, but it's going to be an interesting transition period.
MnDOT recommends drivers stay off the roads if possible during the storm and wants anyone that is caught in the storm to take extra caution.
The visibility is going to be greatly reduced. The roads may be icy and slippery in a few spots, so you won't have the traction you'd expect. And so take your time, slow down, watch for the plow trucks out there. We've had a few plow trucks get hit this year because people aren't paying attention.
As always, keep your First Alert weather app handy. Our team of meteorologists will be closely watching this storm. Plus, you can always check 511mindot.org for an up-to-date road conditions and closures. The Minnesota House has narrowly rejected a bill that would ban transgender athletes from women's sports. The chamber voted down the bill after a spirited discussion, one that kicked off on the Capitol steps at a rally early Monday morning. Quinn Gorham reports from St. Paul.
The vote today that we will take on House File 12 represents a pivotal moment for those who care deeply about the future of girls and women's sports in our state.
Supporters rallied on the Minnesota Capitol steps Monday in support of a bill that would bar trans athletes from participating in women's sports. Hundreds attended the rally, including former Minnesota athletes and conservative activist Riley Gaines.
Minnesota for too long has turned its back on women and girls. The concept of gender identity and the reality of sex are in direct conflict with each other.
Supporters argue that athletes who are born male but might identify as transgender women have a biological advantage in women's sports. The bill would amend state statutes to limit women's sports protections solely to cisgender women.
This bill gives a definition for a female and then goes on to restrict female-only teams to only females.
But the bill was met by sharp opposition from the House DFL. Asked Monday whether the caucus was unified on the issue, leader Melissa Hortman said they were. Advocates held a smaller rally of their own to speak against the bill.
Republican politicians in Minnesota are falling directly in line with Trump's extreme and cruel agenda by prioritizing political theater and burning valuable legislative hours on targeting our youth and vulnerable Minnesotans.
The DFL believes that the bill singles out and targets transgender youth, many of whom already face discrimination, they say.
That's what this bill says. If you are a 6-year-old trans girl, we are going to target you for exclusion. It is hateful, it is cruel, it is beyond cruel.
The bill went before the Minnesota House at 3:30 p.m. and debate lasted over 2 hours. Without at least one DFL vote for the bill did not pass. Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
We're going to switch gears, and Caitlin Lohr joining me now. Caitlin, there is a lot to talk about with this winter weather storm. We had been talking about it last Friday, Monday, and now it's finally here a little bit. Not right now, but it will be tonight, and that's going to start with some rain, and then eventually it's going to transition to something way different.
Yeah, and even from yesterday to this morning, there's already changes that have already been implemented in the form of different alerts and blizzard warnings and things like that. It's just really unfolding across the area what we could be facing over the next 24 to 36 hours. So here's what we know so far. We are looking at blizzard conditions, but first we got to start with that scattered to widespread rain for this afternoon into this evening. This evening, when temperatures start to drop, that's when we'll transition to a wintry mix and then snow for tonight into tomorrow morning and afternoon. With that being said, we're looking at heavy snow with strong winds, so blizzard conditions are expected tonight through tomorrow. However, if you have to go out, you shouldn't, but if you have to, we understand sometimes you can't not go places. Expect extremely hazardous conditions. We're looking at drastically reduced visibility, drifting, blowing snow, potential road closures due to them being unsafe or plow drivers not being able to keep up with clearing them and things like that overnight into tomorrow morning. So before you head out your door tomorrow morning or late tonight or whatever it is, make sure you are checking road conditions, because they're not only just going to be snow covered, there is a chance that some of them could end up getting closed because of the strong winds that we are anticipating. Now, taking a look at the warnings, our watches and alerts that we have right now, it has changed from yesterday. Yesterday, all we had was a winter storm watch in the area, and now it's been broken down even further to a winter weather advisory out to the west of us, a blizzard warning here in the white color, and then in the red, a winter storm warning. We are looking at anywhere from 2+ inches of snow across the area. The lighter totals will be within that winter weather advisory, with heftier totals within the winter storm warning and blizzard warning areas, as well as those strong winds. Now, strong winds are going to affect the entire area regardless if you're in that blizzard warning or not. So let's talk about when we could start seeing some precipitation. Anytime after 12 o'clock this afternoon, spotty showers are possible, and then they'll become more widespread between 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. As we make our way into the evening hours, the actual cold front's going to move through the area, and then we'll start to transition from heavy to or moderate to heavy rain to a wintry mix and eventually snow by about 9 o'clock tonight. So it's going to happen pretty quickly, and then those temperatures are going to drop, which means any of that rain is likely to freeze underneath the layer of snow that we're going to get tonight and through tomorrow. Rain totals are likely to reach up to about 1/2 inch for a majority of the area. Temperatures are going to steadily drop through the day today into the mid-30s tonight and low 30s overnight, which is when we'll fully make that transition to snow, reaching a low of 24 degrees by tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow we're looking at those winds sticking around through the day, so even once that snow wraps up through the late morning and early afternoon hours, still expect things like blowing snow, reduced visibility, drifting, snow on the roads and things like that. It's not just going to go away because the snow stops falling. We're still going to be dealing with strong winds through the day tomorrow, so we're still going to continue to deal with those hazards. Snow totals are going to be, like I said, lightest out to the west of us with heavier totals out to the east of us. We are looking at that 4 to 6 range from Mankato to Waseca, with possibly higher snow totals closer to Rochester. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Yes, we will be in first alert officially tonight through tomorrow, and then we can all take a breath of fresh air because we've got sunshine on the way, temperatures warming up into the 40s and eventually the 50s.
Well, the good news there, Caitlin, is that we will have a lot of snow or partially some snow here, but it doesn't appear that it's going to be staying long.
No, it'll melt rather quickly and we'll be able to get right back outside once it wraps up.
We just got to get through it.
We'll get through it. We're together. We're Minnesotans, we'll get through it together.
There you go. Well, we got some sports coming up right now. It is March and national tournaments are here. Sports Director Rob Clark looks at how our local sports programs figure into the postseason.
Let the madness begin. March is finally here, and a couple of our area Division III basketball teams are ready to hit the court for the NCAA tournament starting later this week. The Bethany Lutheran College Vikings men's basketball team is no stranger to the national tourney, and the group clinched its 3rd straight berth after winning the UMAC Tournament Championship. The Vikings are playing some of their best basketball at the right time, having won 11 of their past 14 games. Very balanced attack for the Vikings as the team averages almost 84 points per game. The group takes on Illinois Wesleyan, the number 16 ranked team in the nation, this Friday at 4 in the afternoon. Bethany, not the only team going dancing. The Gustavus women's basketball team put together another strong season and is the 6th ranked team in the nation. The Gusties will host a 4-team regional for the first 2 rounds of the national tournament this Friday and Saturday. It's the 4th straight trip to the tourney for Gustavus after earning an automatic bid by winning the conference tournament. Gustavus will take on Wisconsin Lutheran on Friday. The other teams in the regional include Wartburg and UW Stevens Point. We'll have more about the upcoming tourneys later this week on KEYC News Now.
A little bit of exciting news there from Sports Director Rob Clark. I'm an alum of UW Stevens Point, so I'll have to go check out them games that's upcoming this weekend, so that'll be fun.
It'll be nice weather by then.
It'll be nice weather. Hey, there you go. Well, thank you very much, Caitlin, and thanks for watching this KEYC News Now to Go update. Stay with KEYC News Now for the latest local news, weather, and sports on our website.
And with the weather coming in, download the free KEYC News and weather apps for the latest headlines and forecast.